G'day everyone, thanks for joining us. No, Bruce Slade hasn't got better looking. It's Paul Norton here. I'm filling in for Bruce today. This is the Edmonds Racing television show. It's Logie award-winning stuff, let me tell you. So we're going to go through all these runners for the weekend, Friday and then again on Sunday. He's got 1,000 in at Beaudesert as we welcome in Toby and Trent. Hello, boys.
Morning, Paul.
How are we?
Good to see you, mate. You didn't have a bad week, a lot of seconds, but your horses they're pretty consistent, Toby, at the moment. You've got the stable firing.
Look, they're going quite well, Paul. Didn't have much luck last Friday. We had a winner on Sunday, so it wasn't sort of the standard we had the week before, but we have them weeks as we've already done that. We've been through that show on Monday, so it's already out there. So I won't go back over that, but certainly they're racing well, just a bit stiff, a couple of them, and they'll be fine. We'll have a good week this week, I'm confident. And
just some great stuff for you is that with the jockeys, so you've had a bit of a jockey mix around, and Robbie Fraud's back riding for you on a regular basis, and which is a good thing.
Yeah, it is. You know, when they split these zones up, it's unfortunate jockeys have to stay in one and can't commute between zones. So you're stuck with what you got. Then they announced the winter carnival. So two of the riders, Ryan Maloney and Matt McGilvray, have decided to go back to the northern zone, I suppose. So they have to quarantine for 2 weeks. And now Robbie's done the same thing. He came back down here, so he's been off for 2 weeks and he's ready to go tomorrow.
Okay. Well, speaking of, mate, you've got 13 runners at the Gold Coast tomorrow. Are you enjoying the Gold Coast meetings on a Friday?
Yeah, a little different, a little boring, but with no crowd there and the like. But, you know, it is what it is. And
all right, race one, you've got it's a 4-horse field, 1,200 metres, 2-year-old plate, and Jetty is starting along with Wisdom of Water. And I just watched Wisdom of Water's trial the other day. Mate, it was in the next suburb by the time the others finished. How good?
Yeah, Jeffrey let him stroll along a bit, knowing we needed to fit him up for this 1,200 metre race first up. So he's in good order and going really well. He's sort of turned the corner, we think. Look, 4-horse field, he should win and win comfortably, I'd suggest. And Jetty, hopefully, can run second to him.
Trent, will you be having something each way on him?
Very funny. I don't think wouldn't be much value, to be fair, for that. But good to have him back at the races. Form around him is really good. So exciting horse. Still needs to get there and do it, but we're hopeful.
Have you got an aim for Wisdom of Water? Is there a special race over the Brisbane Carnival or the down here, or
JJ Atkins? JJ Atkins is obviously the main aim, which hopefully is third up run. So, you know, we hopefully can tick that box tomorrow and then move on to the Ken Russell and then hopefully the JJ Atkins third up. But, he's a ride back in pretty schmick order.
All right. Now, Jetty is also in that race in the 4-horse field. A very good win on debut for the 2K thoroughbred team.
Yeah, he was super. He give him a whacking, actually. It was a really soft win. We sort of had our reservations at first up 1,200, but he showed his class, was able to settle off him and get the job done. Whether or not he could beat this other fella tomorrow, I would suggest not. The other guys just got a little bit of class on him and a little bit more race experience, but Jetty's certainly one to watch for the future if we take good care of him early doors. You know, cutest money sort of for the next couple of seasons will be outstanding for him, and he'll certainly pay his way. He's a nice horse.
All right, then in the next race, race 2, it's a maiden over 1,400, 2-year-old. I've actually had something on this horse the last couple of starts. Been running on well over 1,200, so the distance should suit tomorrow. Paredo. Yeah,
Paredo. We added blinkers this time to her. Don't normally add blinkers going out in distance, but she's such a relaxed filly and doesn't do a great deal early in her races and runs on nicely. So we just wanted to switch on a little bit. So it's the third run in. It's probably not far away from having a break, to be truthful. But tomorrow, her work's been good. Blinkers on. She gets a chance to break through, I feel.
Yeah, it looks a real good chance. All right, race 4, the maiden, 1,100 metres. Global Citizen, Robbie Fraud to ride. This is a 2K thoroughbreds horse. And Matt McGilvray got off it last start and said this thing could win in the city.
He did. It's taken a while, this bloke, and he's obviously 3 years old, having his second start and still a bull. coming back to 1100 from a soft barrier, I don't think it's any concern whatsoever, Fat. That just means he'll be on speed there somewhere, whether or not we're sort of third the fence or take it up. I think they'd have to be pretty quick out to beat him out. He's got really good gate speed if you want to use him. So he'll be there about somewhere. And back to 1100, as I mentioned, no concern. He needed the run at 12 first up, and he just got nabbed late. So, he goes there as good a chance as any of ours tomorrow, I think, to break his maiden. And he's a nice colt going forward for sure. Probably expect him to win. I'd be disappointed if he didn't win tomorrow, that's for sure.
Sounds like you're keen for a bet there. Something each way. $7.50 each way again. Race 5 is a Class 3 over 1100. I love these colours. The Sejourno colours, the red with the yellow seam. And in 11 starts, this is a really consistent horse. Worst runs being 4th. And you've got Nick Keel on tomorrow, who's a very promising apprentice.
Yep. It was a tragedy beating at Ipswich the other day. I think if he gets to the outside, he probably wins. But
thanks, Scoop.
Heritage Sash we're talking about.
Oh, Heritage Sash. You didn't say Heritage
Sash.
Talking about,
well done, Fat.
Sorry. Okay, Heritage Sash. Yeah, well, look, he comes back in grade, actually, back to a Class 3. He ran beautifully at Eagle Farm when we were allowed to change zones. So we freshened him right up back to 1100. Drawn beautifully. Runs good at the Gold Coast. So we'll bang him straight to the front, hopefully, and he can roll along at a good speed and should be hard to hold out.
Mate, your rival trainers, you've just given away the tactics, Toe.
Oh, well,
Gee,
they want to take it on, that's fine. They've got to go pretty quick to tow him. He's pretty fast horse.
That's the way.
All right. You sound confident there. Another one of your really good horses, good run first up, is the Pines. It's in race 7, Class 6 over 1200. Robbie Frard is riding. He's ridden it twice for 2 wins.
Yeah, I just hopefully there's a bit of rain about, so hopefully it's not too wet for all of ours basically tomorrow. But tiny bit of sting out the ground is not going to hurt this mare whatsoever. I think the track was probably too hard. It was too hard for her first up, and she hadn't done a power of work leading into it. She went there. I expected her to still race well. I thought she could still knock them off, but in hindsight, she might have just been that little bit soft. So barrier 4, Robbie back on, which suits her down to the ground. Hopefully, she's got a tendency to be a little bit tardy away. So if she can just posse up a little bit closer from that soft gate, we'll nearly see the best of her tomorrow. If she was to win tomorrow, then we could potentially run her a couple of weeks later in the Stilk stocking to try and get some black type. So that's the plan with her, and she goes there off some pretty good track work, and she's going quite well. So happy with her. And the other fella, Maslow, Fatty, probably look, he was super first up here. He gave him a whacking in a race that was short of his best, the 1100 metre race, stepping to 12 a month between runs. No hassle whatsoever. Just needs to have a little bit of luck in running from that sort of half awkward barrier. And, he's just as honest as the day is long. So he's there to run well too.
Yeah, Michael Carl riding Maslow. How is the track out there? You blokes are out there every day. What would you say it is today? Good 4?
Yeah, I might just have the jar out of it today. I had a shower rain last night, so the jar would be out of it today. But it does firm up very quickly. This track, especially if you get a bit of wind and a bit of heat, there's still enough heat in the ground for it to recover at the moment. Although I think it's going to be cold. It's supposed to drop dramatically in temperature tomorrow. Yep. So we'll see how it is. But look, at the moment, it'll be a 4 for sure. Good 4.
Okay, sweet. Now in race 8, the 3-year-old quality handicap over 1200, you've got 3 horses. Fisticuffs, Robbie Frard, Scout, Michael Carl, Baroda, Andrew Mallion. They all ran well, didn't they? They ran behind a million to 1 shot, knocked them off in the one race. You've got them all in the same race again. Fisticuffs drawn 12, Tobe.
Drawn awkward. Look, there's not much between the 3 of these, to be truthful. Any one of them could win. I'm not sure whether there's anything there this week that could trouble them. I'll be disappointed if they didn't finish close together. From barrier 12, Fisticuffs, Robbie riding him. He knows him. He's won on him, and he rides him quite well. So we'd have to come out a little positive and try and slot in somewhere. I'd say if he gets some sort of cover, he's going to finish hard late. Baroda obviously would take it up. I'd suggest she's pretty quick, and that's a role she likes. With Scout not too far away from Baroda, and as I mentioned, any one of the three could possibly win. Just depends
from
on
what I've seen, Fisticuffs has got a touch of class about it, right?
He has, yeah, he has. He's a good horse. I was surprised he got beat the other day, to be truthful. Although the tempo wasn't as great as what we thought it would be, and he finished good late. He could, I suppose I must mention, he could be looking for a little further. Like he finished off good the other day. I think he would have won with another 30 metres or something. So both Scout and him stay at the 1200, and they could possibly be looking for 13 to 1400. But Baroda comes out of that race with a good bit of improvement off one soft trial, and she's looking quite sharp as well.
So pick one of the three.
They're all different horses, aren't they? They're all like Scout. He does nothing at home, but race day is completely different. He has a proper crack on race day, and Baroda's always super sharp in track work, as is Fisticuff. So, and as Dad said, there's not a great deal between them. We're throwing darts. I'd probably go the one with the better barrier, Baroda.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tend to agree. You're right about Scout. That Scout's come through some good form once. You know, he ran against in the 3-year-old Magic Million Guineas, wasn't far away, and he had a tough campaign last time where he's hard and fit and used to this type of racing. It's unusual, you know. So let's see which one's good enough. Should
be a great race. All right, race 9. Another 3 runners in this one. You've got it's a 75 BM75 over 1400. Jet Affair, ridden by Nick Keel. Great Keppel. Oh, mate, seriously, I should own Great Keppel. I've had that much on it over the last few weeks. Robbie's on that, and then Zipporah, Scott Galloway. You got to say, Great Keppel's been unlucky, hasn't it, Toad?
It has been unlucky. I started to touch on it a minute ago when you didn't mention Heritage Sash, sorry. But yeah, he raced at Ipswich, raced super the other day. If he got to the outside, he probably wins, but he didn't. But he's one of those type of horses that's always going to win, but doesn't win that often. Although I think I've mentioned a number of times, once he wins another one, he'll probably go bang and win a couple in a row because he's that type of horse. He's got good ability. We jumped in this morning. He went over the poles with Ben Hull on. I've taken a couple of videos. Trent does that with him regularly before each run, and it seems to work. So he's had a bit of a hurdle this morning and stretched his legs out. He looks really good. I'll let Trent touch on. Trent can touch on Jet Affair. He has got a good handle on her, to be truthful.
She was way too fresh first up. She's was a real rat bag to saddle. She's really fresh. Pulled a ring out on the way to the barriers, and then was the same in the run. Basically, charged through and sort of sat in a terrible spot. Was outside the horse on the fence and leading sort of a half, 3/4 of a length in front. That's a crappy spot to be in at all times. But barrier 1 tomorrow, I'd say she's just behind the speed. Well, she's got a big weight. Nick Keel claims 2 now instead of 3, so it gets down to 59. She's got a bit of class, Fatty. Just whether or not she needs to get an economical run, which she will from that gate, obviously. Whether or not they might just be a bit sharp for a second up over 1400, and then we step her up over further. She will still run well. I just have my reservations as to whether or not they'd be just a little bit nippy for her over the 14 second up.
Yep.
Happy to be proven wrong. I think her work's improved a stack since that first up run, and that freshness has been knocked out of her. So we won't see her pulling her ass out tomorrow. She'll be just back off them and hitting the line.
All right. What's her favourite distance? What are you looking at? 2,000, 1,800?
So yeah, sort of 10 furlongs and maybe even further.
Okay.
She ran in the Western Australian Oaks and won a lead up to the Western Australian Oaks as a 3-year-old filly. So that's where we're building towards with her, and she's a really nice mare going forward.
All right. I see Zipporah Day Cherry, a great mate out at the Grand Tobe. He owns that. And Scotty Galloway, mate, you're giving Scotty Galloway some rights. He's riding really well in the prime of his career, I reckon. I've
got to butt in here. Ever since you called her slow, she hasn't put a foot wrong. She's raced super.
I can do that. I can stop him. I can make him go faster if I bag him. Mate, Scotty's going good.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he rode
Jesse something the other day.
Yeah, he rode Just Jesse like George Moore the other day, but it had a great barrier. This one hasn't got such a good barrier, so we'll see how he goes. Yeah. Look, we're still deciding whether to run her or not. If there's another race for next weekend, I'll probably rather wait for a better barrier.
Yeah, righto.
if it rains tonight and the track is somewhat affected, everything will change around. So we'll leave that one, but she is going extra well, and she'll be super competitive.
All right, then, well done. That's the Gold Coast. We'll come and get back and get your best bets there in a minute. We've got Sunny Coast on Friday night. So how do you guys work it? Like one goes to the Gold Coast, one goes to the Sunny Coast, or you're not allowed to go to the Sunny Coast, are you?
No. So
who looks after your horses up there?
We send them to Archer Park. It's one of the farms we use.
Yep.
We train about 30 horses for them. So it's in that region.
Okay.
It's at Caboolture. So our horses go there the day before, and then they go up to the Sunny Coast and race, and Liam Birchwood looks after them for us.
Okay, sweet. All right, well, you've got 5 runners up there across 4 races of the 7-race card. Race 2, Isa Rocket. James Ormond's on it. Is that a new horse for you up here?
Yeah, it is. Comes from Kirramar, from down south. Looks pretty sharp. Nice galloper. We're still deciding whether we run there or Ipswich on Monday. We've accepted there, so we're just waiting to see the barrier draw. So we'll leave that one, and but wherever we run it will run well.
Got barrier 6.
Yeah.
All right, race 4, Hello. Anthony Allen's on it. Hello. That's another Archer Park one. Ran 3rd last start. Went better.
She was much improved. She needed to be fair. Just think maybe, she's obviously coming back in grade again. Similar journey. I like Anthony on her as well. He can be really aggressive on these style of horses, and he lifts them when they need to be lifted, and she certainly fits the bill for a rider like him. So we'll be positive out on her, make good use of her barrier. She comes out of 5. So one thing also, I don't want to see a wet track for her. All the boys have said previously that she's not sort of adept on wet. So if it's a nice, fair track, I think she'll race really well again, and hopefully finally knock one off. She's a big fat thing, and she's been getting towards sort of peak fitness, and she's there now. So certainly finds a race where I think she can win.
This might be the race, eh? All right. Race 6 is over 1,800 metres. Filters, Jimmy Ormond's on that. She's a stayer, and she's getting out to maybe her pet distance now.
Yeah, she's getting to a distance that she had performed at last time. She won a maiden comfortably at Toowoomba, and then she was very, very unlucky at Ipswich straight after that when Bailey Nothdorf was riding her. She fittens up from a Toowoomba run, didn't perform that well up there, but this grade sort of looks ideal for her, and she should run well. She's working great, and as I mentioned, getting to the distance where she should start to perform well, and she's in the right race, I feel.
He's a good solid jockey too, isn't he, James Ormond?
Oh, Jimmy, yeah, he's a good jockey, you know. He can ride anything. He's an actual horseman, so most of these kids can ride well.
All right, now in race 7, is this a play on this race horse Naminga? Is that a play on Mel Meninga? I
don't believe so. I don't know. Okay. I don't know what it's named after.
Oh, right. Anyway, Naminga, Jake Bayless is on it. It's out to 1,800 as well in race 7 up there at the Sunny Coast on Friday night.
His last start at Ipswich, where they've got us at Ipswich at the moment, you're looking straight down the home stretch, and so we're after the winning post where we've got to watch them from. He come past me about 30 or 40 metres after the line, and he was half a length in front. And I thought, oh, you beauty, he's won. Finally broke a beat. And so I'm watching on my phone, which is about 30 seconds delayed, and you could see he got beat. Oh, geez, he's been rolled. So might have cost himself the race. He just hung out a bit up the straight, tried hard. Gets to where he will be suited. And he's drawn a little bit tricky, so I'd say we just roll forward and be in the first couple. Good strong rider like Jake as well will certainly suit. So he gets a chance to finally bust his maiden, I feel.
All right, in the same race, number 14, Pecola. Ryan Wiggins, giving Ryan a ride. He goes good. Ryan Wiggins, 4th up, and it's getting out to a good distance for it as well.
Yeah, so she's accepted for Grafton on Monday, so probably deciding which way to go with her. We may well split those two up, I'd say. All
right. Hey, what happens? Just say Ryan's booked for that, and you scratch it. Does he still get his riding fee? Is that how it works?
Yep,
Yeah, he does.
okay.
Yeah,
Not
gets
bad,
it
is it?
Yeah.
All right, well, that was Sunny Coast. And then Doomben Saturday, you've got one in Mr. Bellagio, which has been racing quite well. Jay Huxtable rides, an apprentice claiming 2 over 13.50. Showed some promise last start.
Well, he won. Yeah, won well.
Yeah.
Look, he's in good form. Hadn't won out of turn, ran I think 2 or 3 seconds prior to that, and finally broke through the other day. You know, aided by a really good ride by Matthew McGilvray. I thought tomorrow, you know, with Justin Huxtable on and that weight reduction, he play 59, does he?
Yes, but something like that. Close.
Yeah. So look, he gets his chance as well. He's done particularly well and looks great, and can't see why he couldn't perform again.
All right. All right. Now, Sunday, you've got about 8 runners at Beaudesert. Cool Wedge, Lot's Wife, Hello, possibly, Beats Me, Course as He Will, Batama, Champagne Jet, Hard Labour. Just give us maybe one each to follow on that meeting at Beaudesert on Sunday.
I'm going to go Beats Me. I think he's improved out of sight since his first up win. That's one for me.
Beats Me, righto.
I agree.
You agree, Tobe?
Yep.
All right, something each way on that, $7.50 each way. All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty. We've got 1,000 horses in over the next few days. What's your sport bet, charity bet of the week? Toby, by the way, you're currently leading Trent. You've won $4.55. Trent's won $1.95. Trent, lift.
I will this week, Fat. My on-top selection last week got scratched in the barriers, so I had no chance. Okay, my bet of the week will be Global Citizen to break his maiden in race 4 at the Gold Coast.
All right, sweet. Tobe?
Oh, I'm going outside the box. I'm going Maslow to roll.
Maslow?
Yeah, I like him. He's just I like both of them in that race. I just think he's going to be finishing nice and hard, and I think he might get that other play down late.
All right. Your bet, by the way, is for Bravehearts, Tobe.
That's
and
right.
Trent is for MND Australia. So, well done. All right, well, listen, it looks like you've got a lot of chances over the weekend. Wish you all the best. Hope your jockeys ride well. Hope your horses perform. And we could have a big weekend for Edmonds racing.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Well, good, boys. See you later.